We're back with a vengeance.
Sorry of my cough. I had COVID.
She did.
I don't any longer.
She does not. And I had a close contact. So that's why we weren't here last week.
I'm Whitney.
I'm Amy.
And we are
On the Haunt.
A podcast.
Yes. Full of antibodies.
We're really awkward already.
We really are.
Sorry,
It's been a minute, guys. We haven't been together in like a month.
And we were just sitting here talking about Conjuring Kesha, and I'm like, we should probably stop and say that on the
talk
podcast.
about it. Have you checked it out on Discovery Plus?
It's so funny and
It's
great.
amazing.
They really catch some stuff.
They do. She's everything Zach Bagans wishes he was.
Yeah.
Except her outfits are
very strange.
Yeah. Like,
She's just eclectic.
It's not even that, though. It's like, I would have worn that early 2000s. Kesha, what are you doing, girl?
Well, maybe we don't know fashion.
Maybe we don't.
Also, her makeup is just extreme.
I'm pretty sure that leopard cardigan was not
I also,
couture.
I feel like she doesn't look the way she used to look. Something's
Oh,
happened
no, she has
to
a
her.
new face, for sure.
Yeah, she definitely does, but it's great. She's
Speaking
great.
of, Whitney's got a cute new haircut.
Oh, thanks. I chopped all my hair off. Thank you.
I got a couple new tats.
She does.
My
hair. So funny. She has
an
an
origami pug.
It's great. It's truly
And
great.
then a quote from my favorite book. And then
What is the quote?
So it goes.
That's also a Taylor Swift
Slaughterhouse.
song.
Well, it's what he always says on Slaughterhouse-Five. Every
don't
time
think I've read
something
that.
happens, it shows up like 60 sometimes in the book.
He's like, well,
He's like,
so it goes. It's
crap
kind of like,
happens. We move on.
it is what it is. Of that.
Which is such a metaphor for my dog. Crap happens. Move on. But anyways,
Lord.
yeah.
What else is going on?
I don't know. We've got to record 3 today, so I gotta make
leave
sure we
that.
save some stuff.
Yeah, so if you're not watching Conjuring Kesha, you should watch the latest episode because Chip Coffey's on it.
Yeah,
Who
we've met him.
Yeah, he was rude.
He really was.
He wouldn't
he just
sign
wouldn't
our
sign our
book.
book.
like-
Which he didn't say, no, I'm not signing your book. His assistant said, don't take your book up there. He won't sign it.
Yeah, and
So,
we're like, oh,
chill out, Gretel
Lady.
or whatever her name was.
Gretel,
Hans-
for sure.
Hans-
Have we told the story that happened there?
about the lady.
Yes,
I don't know if we have or not.
I don't either.
It was
So
in
we
true
went to
fashion.
Yes, we went to see Chip Coffey in St. Louis. He was like, did he like give a presentation?
Yeah, it was like a gallery reading first.
Yeah.
Before we did like the, I don't even want to say ghost hunt, but like
Yeah, we
seance
did like a
or whatever we did.
What did we do?
But we were there. We're not sure what happened.
No. So it's the second part. The lights
Yes.
are down and dim. Had that lady been sitting by us the whole
She
time?
had been there with someone in a wheelchair.
That's right.
And then they disappeared. Mm-hmm. And then she came back, sans person in wheelchair.
Right,
We don't know what happened to that
we
person.
were concerned though,
Yeah, it's
but
concerning.
we didn't know. And so she sat by me, right? It was you, me, her.
Yes.
So me and Amy just sitting there, like listening
She
to the
comes
seance.
back to sit
She comes back to sit
in the kind of dark.
Yeah, I mean, kind of dark.
But not-
she could have
not
seen.
total darkness.
No, she could see. And she missed her chair.
Fell down.
Boom.
You just hear oomph.
I know. And,
And Chip is in the middle of like, is there anything here that wants to communicate? And you just hear her fall.
I know, which, okay, you shouldn't laugh at people who fall, but falling is so funny.
It really is. And then she was like, pretended like she did on purpose and like propped her arm up on the chair. Like, well, I did this on purpose. I was just going to use the chair
and
as
she
an arm
stayed on
rest.
the ground.
Yeah, she never got up. And then it looks like she's with us
It
because
does.
she
Next to us.
tries to sit in the chair next to us.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the whole time Chip is communicating with whatever. This lady's also communicating with them. Come here. Come on. Come on.
And gesturing with her hand.
Come on.
And I think like she was patting her leg
She
like
was.
you do a dog.
Maybe she was seeing a dog. I never actually thought about that.
No, I think
until
she
just
said
now.
it was her brother.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, what kind of relationship do you have with your brother? You're
Her
like,
brother's like, no, B, I ain't coming to you. Get away.
And Chip was getting visibly annoyed
Yeah,
with
it was
her.
because
Which I think he just left urgent care. He had like pneumonia or something. It was like, so kudos to Chip for at least,
yeah.
giving us our money.
We have a picture with him.
We do.
It's great. I feel like I have this haircut in the picture. It's just
I think you
red.
had this haircut with Grant and
Hunters,
Jason.
that's
but I feel
right.
like you had bangs then too.
I did
You're
have
very
bangs.
Jenny McCarthy-ish
Yeah, I did have
back in
bangs
that
then.
day.
Okay, anyway.
I'm sure I have bangs then, too.
Yeah,
Don't feel bad.
Taylor Swift has bangs now, so.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
iconic.
I just follow her.
If I thought I would look like Taylor Swift,
I know.
I would cut bangs, but I don't. In my mind, when I go get bangs, I think I'm going to look like Taylor Swift.
That's too much work.
And then I look 45 pounds heavier.
No,
that's
then
the only result.
Then I look like Kathy Griffin. Which is not what I'm going for. What is she doing these days? Is she alive?
Anyway.
I'm so hot already.
Yes, she is, actually.
Oh, because I think I've seen her on Twitter being, like, angry.
Yeah, she's still very angry at Donald Trump.
About Donald Trump?
Remember she got, like, canceled for, like, doing that thing where she held, like, decapitated him and held, like, his bloody head.
That is pretty extreme, Kathy Griffin. Like, let's not stoop to that level.
No.
Oh, I watched Unprecedented, the Donald Trump documentary. Yes. I mean, nothing about it was, like, scathing.
There were no shocking revelations.
No, not at all. But as you watched it, it was an interesting behind-the-scenes look.
Yeah, they're just
exactly what you think they're going to be.
Narcissists. Yes, yeah. 1,000,000%. And almost own it.
I know.
Like, yeah, we're narcissistic. I know. And what?
Ivanka is just bizarre.
Yeah.
You know, like, robotic. I don't know.
And then, like...
That one brother, or that one son, Donald Trump Jr., I think, is the one who's, like, really off the rails.
Yeah.
Who
is probably going to run for politics someday,
who will just say anything. Mm-hmm. Complete fabrications.
Yes.
Doesn't care.
No.
And people believe him, which is what's terrifying.
It is. And then their mom just died recently.
I know.
Fell down some stairs.
I know. Sketchy.
Allegedly.
Oh, God. Donald Trump would come after us. He doesn't care.
No.
Yeah. We would like to thank the Missouri Republicans for not voting in Eric Greitens, because I honestly think he would have probably won the election.
Oh, God.
So,
yeah,
that's gross. Great. But, you know, now our Democratic option is that billionaire heiress to
Valentine, Trudy.
But heiress to the Bush fortune. Yeah. She owns, like, half of Grant's farm.
But, like, in her political ads prior to the primary, she was like, I come from a brewing family.
We're like, yes,
the Bushes.
The
brewing family.
Yeah, shut up, lady. I just don't want a billionaire.
No.
I wanted Lucas Kuntz, or however you say his name. He seemed like a normal... I mean, our options are limited.
They are. We'll take what we can get at this point. Yeah, I'd rather have a Bush.
Yeah. I mean, but she has I think the School of Business at SLU is named after her.
Yeah. But she was a nurse.
Oh, maybe it's a nursing school then. Great. She didn't have to be anything. She probably doesn't work now.
Yeah.
I mean, you own half of Grant's farm. And then did you see that? I
love Grant's farm.
I know that all the other Bushes are Trump supporters. Did you see that? I read an article about it. She's like the only one who's not, because they had like a big to-do at Grant's farm with raising millions of dollars, I'm sure, for the Republican Party of Missouri.
Interesting.
She's like the outcast. Good for her. I mean,
yeah, you go.
Standing up for women's rights.
Whatever your name is.
Judy Trudy, Valentine Bush, or Bush Valentine. Valentine's a sweet last name. Okay, what are we talking about?
I don't know.
Wow, Valentine's a great last
we
name.
Sometimes forget when we're away from each other for a really long time that we're recording.
We
just start conversating
about Bush Valentine.
Yes.
Anyway.
So, yeah.
Great. Great times.
I was telling you about a book I've been reading. My daughter recommended to me. It's called Tender as the Flesh. It's incredibly dark.
There's things
commentary
about flesh,
on
eating flesh,
capitalism, and government way overreach. If anyone's interested
warning
in that.
For cannibalism.
Yes. The whole premise is cannibalism. So if you're not into that, don't. I mean, I'm not into it, but I mean, I don't know. It is an interesting read so far, though.
Yeah.
It's one of those books I can only handle a chapter at a time.
Oh, yeah.
And then I have to stop. That's why it's taking me so long to get through it. But I can't. Like, I'll sit in bed reading, and then I'm like,
I'm going to have nightmares about this.
Well, and I have to process it, too. Because I'm when it comes to stuff like that, I'm usually a real just, like, laid-back reader. But when it comes to stuff like that, I'm like, I have to analyze this now.
Yeah, what does it mean that they're eating?
How does this correlate with my current situation?
Yeah. I just finished The Maid. I gave it to Mandy, and then she's going to give it to Amy. It's a fun read.
Did you ever read the Final Girls support group?
I need to, though. It's on my bookshelf. And then
you sent me that text.
Oh, I got to pull it up here. When is that coming out? So they're coming out with a movie, or is it on Amazon, or what is... Hold on.
I think it was Amazon.
Yeah, My Best Friend's Exorcism movie debuts on Amazon Prime Video this holiday season. I can't wait. No. I hope it's so 80s.
That was an amazing book.
80s glory.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, yes, please.
For sure.
It doesn't say anything about who's in it or anything.
Who cares?
Beaches meets The Exorcist. That's great.
Don't know if that's how I would describe it, but okay.
It's amazing. Grady Hendrix is a wonderful author.
Yes.
Is that a man or a woman?
It's a man.
Okay, I was like, I can't remember.
I've Googled him.
Yeah, well, he's awesome.
He is.
Hilarious.
Love him.
Also dark.
Yes.
Anyway.
He wrote that My Best Friend's Exorcism, Final Girl Support Club, The Southern Book Club's Guide to Vampires.
I loved that book too.
Yeah. So.
And then the one that's about a haunted IKEA that I've never read.
Yeah, they don't have it at Barnes and Noble. I looked.
What's it called? Horror store, something like that. Not horror store.
No.
Horror.
Horror.
Do you say horror?
Well, I'm trying to.
You're from Queens.
I'm trying to really enunciate.
Horror.
I think we have an episode now, like horror with an R. It's like they both have that.
I think maybe I've said this on the podcast, but one time I remember being with my mom in my car, and her car, and I couldn't drive. I was a child, and I said something about a horror, and she was like, "What'd you say?" She thought I called her a whore. I'm like, Mom, I'm like 7. I don't know what that means.
No.
Like, literally don't know what that means.
And don't call people that.
No.
Rude.
Slut shaming, get out of here.
For shame.
Anywho.
You listen to the episode of TCO on Monica and Bill.
We owe Monica Lewinsky everything. It's so sad. I've just started following her on Twitter, though.
I've been following her for a while.
She's pretty
She
cool
only
chick.
pops up every once in a while with some real quick
zinger.
little, yeah.
Yep. She's a clever person.
She really
I
is.
wonder what she does for work, or just like I don't know.
Living her best life, though.
Did you see oh my gosh, was it her that she asked? Yep, so Beyonce is going back and changing one of her lyrics.
I saw that.
And Monica was like, "What about me?"
Yeah.
Because there's I don't even know the song. I couldn't even tell you, but I guess she has a lyric about Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah. And people are like, "Oh God, get over it." It's like,
no,
she can ask.
Right. And don't like make fun of people in your songs.
No.
She
was 22.
Or just 20.
Was she 20?
I mean, either way.
I think she was 22 when like the whole...
It's so sad.
The cat got out of the bag. So
and Linda Tripp is like such a piece of crap.
She is a piece of crap.
Just like really trying to
claw
terrible
her
way. Friend in quotes.
Yeah.
Trying to claw her way into some fame. Ew.
Did you watch the... I tried to watch where Renee's... Or no.
The one that's...
Or not Renee Zellweger. I'm getting her confused with the thing about Pam.
The one...
Sarah Paulson.
The one that's...
This Linda Tripp.
I haven't.
I tried to watch it. I just couldn't get into it. It was too cheesy even for me.
Yeah. I was too young at the time to really know what was going on, though, back then.
Yeah.
But I remember it all being on TV and everything.
I was a teenager.
I
kind of...
Not paying attention, yeah.
It was just, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're teenager.
Yeah.
You don't care.
No.
But looking back, it's just...
Yeah. Gross. Yeah. Bill Clinton.
Ew.
Nasty.
He is nasty. Okay, well,
not what you're here
for. What
do
you think about Bill Clinton? Moving on. Stop. He's nasty. The whole kiss it thing is like the grossest thing I've ever heard. And also really embarrassing.
And the cigar.
Kiss it. That lady's like, excuse me, what? No. Kiss it yourself. Piece of crap. It's disgusting. God, if men in this world could just like... We don't give a crap about your penis. You know what I mean? It's not like the coolest thing ever. Get over yourself. The coolest thing ever is like chocolate.
Yes. And puppies.
Right. There's like so many other things. Anywho, are you going to go first or should I go
Sure,
first?
I'll jump right in.
Okay.
All right. My topic isn't really paranormal. Welcome to our paranormal podcast. But it can have paranormal ties.
Well, and we're always talking about something weird.
We are. So I'm going to be talking about secret societies. Just all of them. No, not one in particular.
She really narrows it down. I also was about to talk about secret societies today because we're getting our topics from
Kesha.
Conjuring Kesha.
For sure. And one of mine I got from an episode of American Horror Stories, the one with Gabourey Sidibe, however you say her name.
Yeah.
She did an episode last week, I think. So
Very nice.
So here we go. I'm just going to jump right in.
Here we go. I'm
I
admiring
have two different articles. The first one is from Smithsonian Mag. So
that's
you know
legit.
it's really
That's legit right there.
important.
Very important.
And this is an article by Jackie Mansky from 2016. Thanks, Jackie.
Yeah, Jackie.
I'm just going to read it verbatim. I didn't even
what
copy
we
paste it. I just copy pasted the link. It's so
what
much
we do.
quicker. By their very name, secret societies inspire curiosity, fascination, and distrust. These are all true statements.
That's true.
When the Washington Post broke the story about Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia, how he spent his final hours in the company of members of a secret society for elite hunters, people instantly wanted to know more about the group.
I knew
I
nothing
don't
about
remember
that. You'd think we would too, you know?
The fraternity in question, the International Order of Saint Hubertus.
Never heard of that.
Me neither.
That's very secret society.
That's a weird saint.
It's probably only men allowed in.
Oh,
all
of
these.
them are.
We should start our own secret.
Except the Oddfellows. They inducted Kesha.
It's all dudes and Kesha. If we had our own secret society, it would just be like beds to nap in.
Yes. And we would welcome anyone.
Absolutely. You just need to be like cool.
You just have to learn our handshake.
And don't be a jerk.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay, so we wouldn't let just anybody.
No.
Who am I kidding?
Cool
There would
people.
be a
Probably
very
the
thorough
listeners of this
vetting process.
podcast.
Exactly. Tanya, you're in.
Tanya, you're in.
You may not even want to be too bad. You're already in.
You're a founding member.
Yes.
Amy is the president. I'm the vice president. Tanya. Just calling her
Tanya
Tanya.
the treasurer.
I bet she's
Official
great at
title.
math. I don't know any.
Yes, I'm sure of it.
Sure of it.
Better than us. Can't be
Doesn't
worse.
take much.
No. All right. Anyways, so the International Order of Saint Hubertus was incorporated by Count Anton von Spork. As
Wow,
in
Spock?
part spoon, part fork.
God. Maybe he invented the spork.
Maybe. Except this is spork with a CK.
Oh. What?
SPORCK.
Oh, and that other
And a
spork
von
just
in
has
front
a
of it.
K.
Von Spork.
Yeah.
In 1685. And sporks are useless. There's not enough prongs on the fork
True.
part to actually like impale anything to eat it.
Yeah, so why do you
then-
have them?
yeah,
That's
I
a great
know.
point.
They're not great.
It's just like laziness.
It truly is.
For the restaurant.
It really
You
is.
know?
Yeah.
Here, I give you a spork. It's like both.
Yeah.
Cheapskates.
And it's usually in like some cellophane wrapper with like the cheapest napkin known
Right.
to man.
So true.
Thinnest, roughest.
I just got some Panda Express the other day. It totally was that.
Yeah.
And then my kids took a bite of my fortune cookie and were like, ew, this is gross. And I was like,
Then don't eat it.
I know, but I'm like, but you already ate off of it, jerks.
This is how we all ended up with COVID.
I know. And then I couldn't eat it. I was so disappointed anyway.
Well, at least your kids will go to Panda Express. My kids don't like Panda
Oh,
Express.
they didn't eat
Oh.
the food. I just
I
brought it home
made
for
them
me
go
and
in there
Kyle.
once to get orange chicken, and
Oh,
they're
it's-
like, "This is gross."
Oh, how are you?
I'm like, "Well, then more for me."
It's the most delicious
It is
thing on the
so-
planet.
It's not authentic Chinese
No,
food.
not
I
a-
don't care.
No.
It's delicious.
It's absolutely delicious. I sat in the middle of a thunderstorm for 20 minutes. The person was like, I'll be right with you. And then 20 minutes later, they were with me. And I just sat there. It was like lightning, thundering. I'm like, oh, I'm going to die
getting the
here.
orange chicken.
I will die on this orange chicken cross.
That's 100%
every time.
correct.
It was so spicy and yummy. Anyway.
I tried I finally tried the flatbread pizza from Panera last week. It was amazing.
All right. They're so,
It really is.
it's not hospital
Except
food, whoever
their
said
drive-through
that.
was really long.
Always
and
is.
with Keaton
It's
and I
like-
were with Jamie. So he's like,
complaining.
I'm like, okay, I'll just run in and order. So I go in, order it to go, get out to the car. I order Keaton her, chicken Caesar salad, no croutons because she's gluten free. I get out to the car. There's no croutons, but there's also no chicken. So I'm like, well, crap. Because that's her favorite part is the chicken.
The cold chicken.
Yes. So I go back in and there's like a huge long line at this point.
Yeah.
So I waited. I'm not going to be rude and be like, excuse me, I just need it. So I get up
no.
there and I'm like, yeah, I ordered and there was no chicken. The lady's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then the lady is slicing bagels and the bagels kept getting stuck. So this one girl, they had like this big stick you stick down there. So this other lady who was taking my order, who's clearly new and doesn't really, I felt so sorry for her. She didn't know what she's doing. Stuck her arm in it. And me and the other lady in line look at each other and we're like, oh my God, we are not prepared to see this woman lose her fingers. Oh my God. She didn't, thank God. But like,
no,
do not stick your hand in the bagel slicer.
It's just a bagel. It's not worth it.
No, there was a guy in my hometown. I remember we had like a little grocery store that had a deli.
Yeah,
and he was slicing the meat and literally lost from the elbow down.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so confused. How did that happen?
I don't know like where he was actually cut, but then the amputation took place like at the elbow. Well, they're not just going to probably leave like, you know what I mean? It makes more sense, I guess, to amputate the elbow. But but the moral of the story is...
Don't stick your arms in anything.
No.
Yeah,
ever.
The garbage disposal. I've seen people do that. I'm like, that's absolutely not.
I know. I told that lady next to me, I'm like, I've seen enough horror movies to know how this ends.
Right.
And she was like,
get a pair of tongs, yo.
No, there's a stick for that at Panera.
No, I'm talking about the
garbage disposal.
Yeah, tongs. Or just like run a lot of water and keep it running for like 5 minutes.
Or just keep turning the switch off and on. That's what I do. Eventually,
it's like, what are you putting down there, people?
Yeah. No, I always use like something like because a lot of times we'll get like a dish rag. We'll get down in there, which
never has that ever happened to me. You have to shove it in there.
I don't know how it happens. I don't
probably
even
Jamie.
Use probably.
He's probably trying to trick you into putting your hand down there so you lose it.
But it's like, ugh, it's so gross by the time you fish it out of there.
Well, garbage disposals are sick.
Yeah,
they say
really
to take a handful of ice cubes, shove it down there, and turn it on.
We do that, and we also just throw like a lemon, like we'll slice a lemon and throw it down there too. Anyways, no one cares.
Kitchen tips from Amy and Whitney
from Spork.
Kitchen tips, okay? How do you clean your garbage disposal?
Yeah,
let us know.
Please.
Amy's is really nasty, apparently.
So anyways, Spork did this back in the whatever.
Yes.
It was originally intended to gather the greatest noble hunters of the 17th century, particularly in Bohemia, Austria.
That's where I'm from.
Oh, you're so exotic. And countries
I mean, my people.
Of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, ruled by the Habsburgs.
Okay.
According to its official website. After the organization denied membership to Nazis.
Thank you. Good call.
Notably, military leader Hermann Göring, Hitler dissolved it. But the order reemerged.
He's like, I can't be a part, so I'm going to dissolve it.
Well, I mean, that was his whole rationale for everything
that's
he did.
true. Good call.
But after World War II, an American chapter was founded in the late 1960s.
Okay.
The order is just one of many clandestine organizations that exist today. Though the popularity of these secret clubs peaked in the 18th and 19th centuries, wrote some guy.
Probably Spork.
Yes. No.
No.
It was not Spork. But I'm not going to get into this guy's book. No one cares. The emphasis on secret was what inspired so much distrust in these exclusive
Makes
clubs.
sense.
Well, yeah.
They have rituals.
Because you're like, what's
such.
going on in there?
Right.
Why is it a secret?
And it's probably nothing.
No, it's probably
cool,
not.
But, we imagine the worst.
As humans are just suspicious people.
Yeah. Well, and some people have bodies in the wall.
Yes. But they're not always in secret societies. Sometimes they're just John Wayne Gacy.
Right. I love, though, that you like, well, do you talk about the Oddfellows? Maybe you don't know because you haven't read the article. I haven't read my articles
I think it is in one of them.
Because it's like, I don't need to look at a skeleton to face my mortality.
No, I get it.
I face my mortality driving to pick you up. When
none of us leave this earth alive.
No, some guy was on my side of the road texting, and I was like, I've got past, and I'm like, well, I almost just died. What would my family do? And then I go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah. Great.
Then and I'm like, okay, stop.
Kyle's quarantining the children alone on their air mattress. He's
like throwing crackers
yes,
at them.
Here's some animal crackers and juice boxes. May the odds be ever in your favor.
It's literally the Hunger Games, Lord of the Flies up in there.
Yes.
Oh, wow. That would be terrifying.
Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. The New York Times even weighed in on secret societies in 1880, not wholly dismissing the theory that Freemasonry brought about the Civil War and acquitted President Johnson. I don't know.
Interesting.
And has committed or concealed crimes without number. Well, and you do hear that a lot.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, especially the Freemasons, because it seems like they have people in high positions.
They are not goth brooks with friends in low places. I don't know. That was lame.
A great joke.
I'm Garth always Brooks had an alter ego.
Oh yeah,
Chris Cage with like the little Flava Sava on his chin. Like, what are you doing, Garth?
How did he get like
like the hair, like the emo hair? I think he wishes we'd all forget about that. But I have not, Garth. I have not.
That character came out with a CD too, didn't he?
Yes.
Flavor Savers are so gross.
They really are. Whoever thought that was a good idea?
And if it's just that's the only hair on your entire face.
How are you maintaining that?
You're just shaving around.
That's a lot of work.
It is.
Like, I'm so glad all I have shavers like my whole legs.
And
like,
I shave my face.
Oh yeah, get that little peachy fuzzy crap off of there.
Dermaplane. Garth Brooks. That was hilarious.
It was. So anyways, jumping back on. Blah, 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 blah. The United States in the late 19th century, there was enough of a national uproar against secret societies that one concerned group created an annual anti-secret society convention.
Wow.
Of course they did.
So, a bunch of losers who are so mad that they're not in one.
You know you can make your own.
Right. They just stamp around in anger.
Anti-secrets.
We love transparency.
We really do.
Yeah, just make your own club.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
No, look, we have one right here.
Yeah, look.
We're the only members.
And Tanya. So in 1869, at the National Convention in Chicago, the attendees went after the secular press. The organization's secretary said to the press, either approved or ignored secret societies, while few religious papers have spunk enough to come out for Christ in opposition to Masonry. Whoa, calm down.
Is Masonry a religious thing?
Well, apparently Christ is in opposition of it. Christ is like, no.
Did he tell
this
you
is
that?
Where I draw the line.
Did he come to you and tell you that in a dream?
In a vision, in a burning bush. Right. Because that kind of sounds like, you're in a secret society then. You're like concealing how Christ told you these things. You freaking hypocrites.
Oh my God. I'm just now envisioning the burning bush and how like really awkward and weird that must have been. You're like, excuse me, what?
Nowadays it'd be like pure panic with all the forest fires and whatnot. It'd be like, someone put that out.
So it was a burning bush. Was there like a human form in it? Or was it just talking to you? I
don't really think I know a lot of facts about
I'm just imagining.
I just feel like it just burned for days.
And just talked.
Yeah.
It was just like, hey.
And why is it in the form of a burning bush?
It's bizarre.
Like,
is that
it
symbolic of something?
I don't know. I know nothing.
Jesus
Clearly no
you.
one's tapping me to teach Sunday school.
No. Very interesting.
Yeah. So anyways, let's move on to some of these, shall we? Here are a few. The improved benevolent and protective order of Elks of the world.
So
that's
a
really
the
long
Elks Lodge?
I guess so.
Okay.
They do good things. They're giving school supplies away.
They're a secret society?
My dad was a member of the Moose Lodge. What was that?
Also a secret society.
I don't think that was a secret society.
Secret society of drunkenness.
Yes, it was just an excuse to drink. Right. And they didn't look at you funny when you brought your children into their bar.
They're like, whatever, go play with those
blocks. We have video games over there for you kids.
So the Elks Lodge, okay. I wonder if that is the Elks.
I don't know. Here
it's
we
gotta
go.
be, right?
Let's find out.
They
Maybe.
also will let you have your wedding reception
Yes.
in their facilities.
And the Lions Club.
Of the VFW.
Yes. In 1907, the Seattle Republican reported on the Order of Elks, writing that it is claimed by members and officers that it is one of the most thriving societies among African Americans of the city. According to the nonprofit African American Registry, the fraternal order was founded in Cincinnati, Ohio in 1899 after 2 black men were denied admission to the Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks of the World, which is still popular today. And despite questions raised on discriminative practices, now allows any American citizen 21 years or older who believes in God to be invited to join its ranks. Interesting.
So the one you were talking about first was founded by 2 African American men. Because they weren't allowed into the Elk Lodge. That's probably the one that's around here.
Yeah, so it says the 2 men decided to take the order's name and make their own club around it.
Got it. Okay.
Formerly called the Improved Benevolent. Yeah, you did.
Shade.
And Protective Order of Elks of the World. The order was once considered to be at the center of the black community. During the era of segregation, the lodge was one of the few places where black men and women could socialize. In recent years, however, the Post-Gazette commented the secret organization struggled to retain its relevance. Still, the secret society continues to sponsor educational scholarship programs, youth summer computer literacy camps, parades, as well as community service activities.
That's awesome.
Yeah. The Grand Orange Lodge.
Never heard of that in my life. Orange?
It's also commonly known as the Orange Order. Got its name from Prince William III, the Prince of Orange.
What? Prince William III.
I want to be the Prince of Grapefruit.
Is that Prince William? I'm so confused. Prince William.
Well, don't they just recycle names?
That's true. Of where? They're not.
Of Orange.
And is that a place?
I guess.
Oh.
Or was he just the prince of all things the color orange?
Which, I can only think of oranges. Carrots. Okay, 2 things. Great.
And founded after the Battle of the Diamond outside of a small village in modern-day Northern Ireland called Loughgall. Its purpose was to protect Protestants, and that's why in 1849 the Lord Lieutenant of Ireland, George William Frederick Billers, captured the ire of Dublin's Waterford News for supporting the society. Okay, whatever. So at that time, secret societies were banned from Ireland, as they were said to have acted in antagonism to the Land League.
And how are you going to ban them? They're secret. They're just going to happen underground in a cave or something.
So apparently the Grand Orange Lodge is still around today with clubs in Ireland as well as others around the world. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, the Independent Order of Oddfellows.
Ooh.
Perhaps one needs to be a member of the altruistic and friendly society known as the Independent Order of Oddfellows to know for sure when the club first started. But the first written record of the order comes in 1812. However, and it references George IV. Even before he was named Prince Regent of the United Kingdom, George IV had been a member of the Freemasons, but as the story goes, when he wanted a relative of his to be admitted to the society without having to endure the lengthy initiation process, the request was emphatically denied. So George left the order, declaring he'd establish a rival club.
I like that.
Yeah. So see, you can just start your own.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. So regardless of how it started, it's fair to say the king got his wish. The Independent Order of Oddfellows is still around today. We know this because of Conjuring Kesha.
Thank you, Kesha.
So the Oddfellows, as they call themselves, are grounded in the ideas of friendship, love, and truth. There
And
are
weird masks.
Yes, and there are real skeletons in the order's lodges. They are used during initiation to remind its members of their mortality.
And it's questionable where they get them from.
Yes, a magazine.
Which is so weird.
Weird. You can order either a ceramic one or a human one.
What about...
And he said that they were not sourced ethically. Which is real concerning.
Yeah.
Where are you sourcing your human bodies from? Ugh. The Knights of Pythias? I don't know.
We'll go with it.
Some secret societies do have like paranormal ties. I don't know if I'm getting to any of those.
Well, I mean, we just talked about a creepy skeleton.
Yeah. The Knights of Pythias was founded by Justice H. Rathbone, a government employee in Washington, D.C. in 1864. He felt there was a moral need for an organization that practiced brotherly love.
Is that okay? All right, we see you.
Yeah, good for you. Which would make sense, seeing as the country was in the midst of the Civil War. Okay, well, you have bigger fish to fry then.
Right.
So anyways, that was founded, blah, blah, blah. Its colors are blue, yellow, and red. The Knights of Pythias is still active and is a partner of the Boy Scouts of America.
Oh, interesting.
The Ancient Order of the Foresters, not Subaru. Known today as Foresters Friendly Society. Well, that sounds fun. Do they like save trees?
It's funny to just add friendly to your title
Yes.
so people
don't
leave you alone.
Get all suspect. It was initially established in 1834. And according to the Society's website, albeit under a slightly different name, the Ancient Order was created before state health insurance began in England, so the club offered sick benefits to its working class members.
That's nice.
Yeah, I like that.
Wow. Wonder how.
I have no idea.
Okay.
In 1874, the American and Canadian branches left the Ancient Order and set up the Independent Order of the Foresters. Candidates looking to be admitted to the club had to pass an examination by a competent physician who is himself bound by his connection with the order. Oh, so you can't have a pre-existing condition, I guess? That's not okay.
Rude.
Okay, these names are getting just like when they're running out of ideas. The Ancient Order of United Workmen.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll work. You want a Maserati? Why a Maserati, dude?
I mean, we can't understand Brittany's
we really
genius. Can't. Her Instagram videos. I'm just like,
been...
Brittany loves being topless.
Yes,
whatever.
With platters of food hiding her bare bosom.
And then just pressing her breasts together as hard as possible.
And even when that doesn't work, just putting little emoji stickers
on it. No. I did see something on TikTok the other day, and it was like, you know how everyone's like makes fun of Britney when she dances because she just spins? And it was a video from like 1998 of Britney spinning on stage.
Well, I can't spin that much.
No.
You try it.
No, and it's like, Britney's always been spinning, okay?
Her and the spinner from Club Mississippi.
This is not new. Oh, yesterday the video she posted of her and Sam Asghari are like licking each other's tongues. I'm like, that's enough. That's too far, Britney.
Calm down.
What? Stop.
Oh, Brittany.
That's great.
So whatever, there was that. They got some new kind of insurance. Then there's the Patriotic Order, Sons of America. These are all kind of boring. The Molly Maguires.
Oh, is that a girl club?
I don't know. In the 1870s, 24 foremen and supervisors in the coal mines of Pennsylvania were assassinated.
Oh, gosh.
The suspected culprit? Members of the Secret Society of the Molly Maguires, an organization with Irish origins brought to the United States by Irish immigrants.
Why did they kill all?
I don't know. God, they're just coal miners. That's
like the worst
that's
job.
Enough of a punishment.
Right,
that's
it's the worst job
really
in the world, probably.
The Maguires likely got its name because members used women's clothing as a disguise while allegedly carrying out its illegal acts, which also included arson and death threats. Jeez.
It's Twitter trolls.
It is. The group was finally undone by a mole planted by the Pinkerton Detective Agency. Nice.
We should start our own detective agency. You can do that?
Well, unless we can be Pinkerton level, I'm not into it.
We'll plant moles everywhere.
In a series of criminal trials, 20 Maguires were sentenced to death by hanging. The Order of Sons of St. George, another secret organization, appears to have vanished. Okay, now I'm going to go over to history.com.
Oh, this is legit today.
Yes. Let's talk about the Knights of Templar.
Oh, okay.
The Knights of Templar were warriors dedicated to protecting Christian pilgrims to the Holy Land during the Crusades.
And the Holy Grail, allegedly.
Yes, probably.
Probably, allegedly.
The military order was founded around 1118.
That's a very
long time ago. When Hughes de Payens
would have sucked to live then.
For sure. I mean, you get like a paper cut, you're dead.
You have nowhere to poo.
No one knows what bacteria or germs are.
I just don't understand how they make clothing or anything.
Either.
Do they have looms? I just
Or is that when they just wore leaves? I don't know.
I mean, they had the knights had metal clothing or whatever.
Yeah. Well, they had
were they
pelts.
able to weld things together? I just have so many.
Yeah,
how they make metal? I'm so confused.
Yeah, I don't know.
How do we make metal now?
Well, you have to mine iron ore.
And then what? How do you
where
make?
metal comes
I
from?
have no
know where
idea.
metal
Then you just pound it together. I don't know.
I don't either.
What did they eat? Just potatoes constantly. I would have died so fast.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
but I probably died the thinnest of my life. There's that.
or not, because you're just constantly eating potatoes in all their forms.
Heavy diet. Mashed potatoes.
You never poop again.
Potatoes. French fries. All right, this sounded so bad.
Do they have cheese?
Actually, that's not
Surely.
funny. There was a potato famine.
That's true.
That's awful.
Yeah, I mean, if you weren't a knight or a princess, you lived in a.
It's just squalor. It was awful. So, anyways, the military order was founded by that French knight guy. Poor fellow soldiers of Christ in the Temple of Solomon, or the Knights Templar for short, headquartered at the.
That's for short. Yeah. It's the same amount of
syllables and words. Headquartered at Temple Mount in Jerusalem, members pledged to live a life of chastity, obedience, and poverty, abstaining from gambling, alcohol, and even swearing. That's strict.
I know. I mean...
And who is policing this? I mean, really.
Each other. It's a, tattling system. That's the only way you know. But then it's I mean, you're a knight just riding around on horses protecting cups. Could you cuss at the minimum,
Please.
I mean, you fall off your horse and you just...
Sorry, coffee.
Can't say anything.
No.
Sad.
Cheese and crackers.
But you don't know what crackers are. So.
That's right. Cheese and potatoes.
Just potatoes.
Just potatoes. You may not have cheese. I imagine if you did have cheese, it was real nasty.
Oh my God.
The Knights of Templar were known for more than their military prowess and moral lifestyle. They became one of the most wealthy and powerful... Well, poverty was part of the oath. One of the most wealthy and powerful forces in Europe after setting up a bank that allowed pilgrims to deposit money in their home countries and withdraw it in the Holy Land.
I mean, how did
that sounds shady.
And how did that work without internet?
Yeah, that's
How'd you know?
You have a bank account in
offshore.
Offshores.
I know, but it's how did the bank in Jerusalem know you deposited $100 in the Bank of France or whatever?
That would have to come via ship. Take forever.
I don't think you'd have to take a ship. I think you could take a horse. I don't think there's water between those two countries.
Well, whatever.
I know, but you're I'd like to deposit this 20 months later.
Yes.
Or withdraw.
Please take this note.
We should ask Chris. He's a banker.
He is. I'm sure he knows all about how banking worked in the 1100s. Also, Chris, what was the cheese situation?
Chris knows stuff.
Their influence swelled to a new high in 1139 when Pope Innocent II
was so ridiculous.
Issued a papal bull. I don't know.
I'm sure he's could I not have had a... Could I be named Paul?
Yeah, why should I be innocent?
Or
innocent. Just innocent.
Is he a child?
He exempted them from paying taxes. And decreeing that
he can do that?
The only authority that they had to answer to was the Pope.
Okay.
Oh, great. At the apex of their power, they owned the island of Cyprus, a fleet of ships, and lent money to kings. But not all kings were happy customers. So what happened to the Knights of Templar when the Crusades came to an end after the fall of Acre? The Knights Templar withdrew to Paris, where they focused on their banking endeavors. On October 13th, 1307, King Philip IV of France, whom the Knights of Templar had denied additional loans, had a group of knights arrested and tortured until they made false confessions of depravity.
Oh.
In 1309, as the city of Paris watched, dozens of Knights of Templar were burned at the stake for their alleged crimes.
Gosh.
That's intense.
And extreme.
Yeah.
I mean.
Under pressure from the French crown, Pope Clement V formally dissolved the order in 1312. Well, that's a long time later.
Yeah,
and redistributed their wealth.
To whom?
Rumors that the Knights Templar guarded artifacts like the Holy Grail and the Shroud of Turin began bubbling up among conspiracy theorists. Popular books and films like The Da Vinci Code today continue to inspire curiosity about the Knights of Templar.
Yeah, where'd they hide it? Does the Pope of Innocent or whatever have it?
Oh, here's the outfit.
I mean,
it's very snazzy.
Imagine how hot that must
be
have
real
been.
hot.
All that. What's a chainmail? That's what it's called, right?
I don't know.
Pretty sure.
The Cross of Lorraine is a double-barred cross. No one cares about their outfits.
That's the cross, though, on their outfit. It looks like the Red Cross.
Well, this is fun, though. Not fun, but during World War II, the Cross of Lorraine was a symbol of the French resistance to Nazi rule. Some eagle-eye observers have claimed to spot the cross of, conspiracy theorists.
Love it. Except Alex Jones, who sucks.
Well, they're coming for the wrong people here, though.
Oh, okay.
They think they've spotted the cross of Lorraine on Exxon and Nabisco logos and even stamped on Oreo cookies. Listen.
That's just a plus sign.
Yes. Back off the Oreos.
And I mean, it's a very common looking symbol. It literally looks like a plus sign.
Yeah.
Calm down. And I mean, yes, capitalism does run everything. Yes, Nabisco owns like half of the things.
And if anyone gets to TM crosses, it's Jesus. So back off, Knights of Templar. Right? Yes, for sure. No, I'm not even going to make a Jesus on the cross.
That was
joke.
hilarious.
He's just like, trademark this. Someone.
I mean, and lots of people have been burned at on a cross.
Yeah.
Lots of people
Joan of
have.
Arc.
And the other people that were like
no.
hung up by Jesus on the cross.
Yeah. Well, they weren't burned. They just had to hang there and die.
Yeah, great.
Which is worse. I mean,
I don't know.
No worse. They were set on fire. They just had to hang there for days.
Which is worse? I don't know.
Well, at least
okay,
you would die quickly if you were set up. They're all terrible options.
Yeah.
Just putting that out there. Yeah. But I mean, Jesus sacrificed big time.
For sure.
Just putting that out there. I acknowledge that.
For sure. I don't feel like he had much of a choice, though.
Well, no, but still, that was...
I mean, I guess he could have run away. He's like, I'm not doing this.
I mean, he was magical. He probably could have gotten out of it.
He was magical.
But he rose from the dead. That's magical. That's beautiful.
That's magical.
Well, I don't know. How else would you word it? When they put the sorting hat on Jesus' head, he was declared a Hufflepuff.
He would totally be Hufflepuff.
He would too.
I mean, Jesus went into the woods with Satan and, battled it out.
That's right.
Had a war of wits. I don't know what happened out there.
Well, he won.
Right.
Jesus always wins. Okay.
As I look at Charlie Sheen winning... Sorry, Charlie Sheen.
Move on to the Freemasons, shall we? God, this is...
I'm sorry.
The Freemasons loom large in American history. After all, 13 of the 39 men who signed the U.S. Constitution were Masons. I did not know that.
Say that again. Oh.
13 of the 39 founding fathers. George Washington, James Monroe, Benjamin Franklin, John Hancock, and Paul Revere all counted themselves members of the Fraternal Order. But who are the Freemasons? The Freemasons can trace their roots to the Middle Ages in Europe.
Their roots?
Or their roots. Well, their routes. However, I
I
never know how to say it. I think it's tomato. But
wouldn't
no one says tomato.
Wouldn't it be roots? ROOTS? It would be. They screwed up, not you.
No, it's ROU on here.
Right, but it should be art because you're tracing your
Their
roots.
roots.
Like your roots of who...
Okay, so I think I'm
Yeah, you're totally right. They screwed up. New York Times or whatever.
History.
History.com.
History Channel.
God. Can you play more history? Sorry. I mean,
Your whole job is history. I guess not spelling. So it's fine. We forgive you. Or maybe they mean like the route they
travel. Yeah.
Who cares?
Nobody.
Who cares?
Sorry, everyone.
So cathedral builders, by nature of profession, had to travel from city to city.
That's a big job.
They identified one another via signs of their trade, like the builder square.
What?
Yeah, think of what a builder square. That's kind of big. You just flash it that at people.
The thing that's like a triangle?
Wouldn't a builder square like that thing?
Yeah, it's like a triangle, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, you use it to make
use
squares.
it to square your stuff.
Well, that's really weird.
And a compass and Oh, so the builder square and compass is their iconic symbol.
They had a compass, builders? Oh, I guess to travel. Okay, now we're going here to build another cathedral. That'll take 20 years to build.
North.
Right. How do you know when to stop?
Yeah. 29,000 paces.
Building a cathedral would be horrifying.
Yes.
Yikes.
So the earliest reference to Masons is in the Regis poem of Halliwell manuscript, which was published in 1390. But Freemasonry, as we know it today, was founded in 1719 when 4 London lodges merged to form England's first Grand Lodge. Freemasonry quickly spread across Europe into the American colonies. Freemasonry is not a religion, though members are encouraged to believe in a supreme being.
I like that it's open. Whichever one you choose.
Yes. Or the grand architect of the universe.
With the builder square.
Yes. Masonic temples and secret rituals have brought them into conflict with the Catholic Church. The Church first condemned the Freemasons in 1738 and has gone on to issue around 20 decrees against them.
Wow.
And that's a lot of decrees.
Hating on them.
Might want to clean up your own front porch there. Catholic
let it
Church,
go.
just saying.
Yikes.
In 1985, Roman Catholic bishops restated over 200 years' worth of these strictures in the face of an increased number of Catholics joining the order.
Oh.
The church wasn't their only enemy. The secrecy of the Masons garnered such distrust in early America that it inspired America's first third party, the Anti-Masonic Party.
Yeah, well, some of those founding fathers really sucked.
Yeah. Are there Freemasons today? Yes, they do.
Bill
exist
Clinton,
today.
probably.
Probably. Their public image has been greatly influenced by high-profile charity work of the Shriners. Oh, I didn't know the Shriners were.
And their tiny cars.
And their tiny cars.
We always come back to the Shriners.
We really
on
do.
This podcast.
But they do a lot
They
for
do.
sick children.
Those little
I'm
cars,
not even
though,
gonna,
I don't understand how they work.
Either. A little
Defy
battery.
gravity.
It's like a little Tesla.
I know, but they're on 2 wheels. It's like, how are you not falling out?
And their little
Where's
hat
your
with their
tiny
tassel.
monkeys with hats? Which we assume
Yes,
was
we
a
don't
thing,
know.
but
Maybe not.
I don't know.
So that the Shriners is a subset of the Freemasons. Also known as the Ancient Arabic Order Nobles of the Mystic Shrine. Yes. Guy would go by Shriners as well. The Shriners were founded by Freemasons in 1870 in New York City's Knickerbocker College and continue their volunteer work today.
Did it say Arabic or something?
Mm-hmm. The Ancient Arabic Order Nobles of the Mystic Shrine.
So just a bunch of people from Brooklyn started
I
it?
guess.
So confused.
I don't either.
Maybe they were Arabic. I don't
Maybe.
know.
So how do you become a Freemason? The rituals around becoming a Freemason are shrouded in secrecy, so we're not going to tell you now, I guess.
Great.
But have entered
Can we
the
put a mole in there, please?
public imagination in film and TV, and were even parodied on an episode of The Simpsons.
Of course it was.
Membership is open to all males
Blech.
over the age of 21, and women can join an associated group known as the Order of the Eastern Star.
And no thanks.
no. Gross. Either let me in or shut your face.
And I don't want to be in a group with a bunch of
don't either.
dudes.
But we know how to use a triangle. I mean, a measuring square. And a compass.
Construction square.
Yeah.
I don't know how to use a compass.
I don't either,
probably.
clearly. I don't
I've
even know it's
never
called.
really maybe even seen one in real life. Except the one on my phone.
Your car tells you which way you're going.
That's not a compass, though, you know? Like,
kind of.
well, I mean, it definitely is.
Listen,
but you know what I mean? The ones you
we
hold.
know things.
Can you imagine all the bro jokes, though?
Yeah. According to New York Times, aspiring members must ask to join and cannot be otherwise approached. As summed up in a recruiting slogan, all you have to do is ask.
What?
I don't know.
And so how do you let them know you're kind of interested? You just like wear a shirt?
I guess. Other
Desperately.
Freemasons were Mozart,
Oh.
our good friend Winston Churchill, David Crockett,
Davy? What? I didn't.
Franklin D. Roosevelt.
Well, I'm about to say something really
and John
dumb.
Wayne.
I'm about to say something really dumb. I didn't know Davy Crockett was a real person. I thought he was like a
Just
myth.
from the song.
I thought he was like an American, like, myth. You know what I mean? So he legit wore that hat?
Look, this is coonskin cap.
God, America is so
I mean, I
funny.
don't know how much, like, he was,
You know, yeah.
how much of his persona was manufactured.
I thought he was like Johnny Appleseed.
Paul Bunyan. He's a tall tale.
I thought he was one of those.
Him and his big blue ox.
Well, I need to go do a
I
deep
laugh
dive
because
on
I don't know
Davy
the-
Crockett
I
tonight.
don't know. I guess I've never even thought about him enough.
I guess I have, which is weird.
So anywho, the most recognizable symbol of the Freemasons is the square and compasses. The right angle of the builder square is joined by a compass, a central tool in geometry.
It's funny, I've seen that, and as you're saying that, I can picture that in my head.
Okay. Well, according to some experts at MIT, it's represented by the G at the heart of the symbol. Others have interpreted the G
MIT is like studying
as
the Freemasons.
representative of a god, the grand architect of the universe. The Eye of Providence from the dollar bill. Dollar bill, yeah.
Oh,
the
yeah.
eye. Mm-hmm. The view of the all-seeing eye as a Masonic symbol has been sharply debated.
Never knew that had a name until you just
neither.
called it that.
Well, I only know that because they have the picture of me
Okay.
dollar bill.
At the top of the pyramid?
Yes.
Yeah, our money has some weird symbology on it. So that's a Freemason thing?
Well, it says it's been sharply debated whether or not.
Well, surely. Or else, what else does that mean? Why is there an eye above a pyramid?
Long before the Freemasons, Egyptians used the Eye of Horus, and the all-seeing eye appears repeatedly in Renaissance art as a symbol of Christianity and God's watchfulness. But organizations like the Philadelphia Federal Reserve claim Freemasons Henry Wallace and FDR purposefully chose it when they redesigned the dollar bill in 1934.
Well, yeah, one of them added under God to our Pledge of Allegiance. I feel like it was FDR. It didn't used to say that because we had separation of church and state.
Exactly.
But then I think it was FDR that added it.
It says, according to the George Washington Masonic National Memorial, the all-seeing eye is a Masonic symbol of the watchful care of the Supreme Architect.
Interesting.
So now let's talk about the Illuminati.
Oh, yeah. Beyonce. Except she says that in her song.
Yes.
It's that the Illuminati, S-H-I-T, is corny.
The Illuminati were founded by Professor Adam Weishaupt. I don't know. In Bavaria.
What a nerd.
Yeah.
He just is like desperate for friends.
In Bavaria.
Oh.
It's like a Bavarian cream.
And chocolate? Is that
On May 1st,
I'm thinking
1776, Weishaupt, chafing at the power. So much chafing.
chafing at the power?
The power of the conservative Catholic Church and the Bavarian monarchy sought to cast aside organized religion in favor of the new form of illumination through reason.
That really paints a picture of how much he hated those things,
he was
though.
very chafed. Is there anything worse than being chafed, though?
I mean, I don't think
That is
so.
the optimum level of irritation.
It really is. He's so freaking chafed by the Catholic Church. He goes to bed at night, ticked off about it.
Yes, rubbing ointment on his thighs.
He's just can't. His underarms. Where else can he be chafed? Probably other
anywhere, I
places.
would
Your
imagine.
butt crack.
Yes, for sure. Swamp ass,
Oh,
as we
it's the
call
worst.
it here in the summertime.
God, I hate Missouri. It's so hot. Why?
Inspired by the spread of the Enlightenment across Europe, he also drew upon ideas expressed by the Jesuits. He was a former member. The mysteries of the 7 sages of Memphis, the Kabbalah, and the Freemasons. He recruited heavily from the latter group, infiltrating Masonic lodges. Ooh, man.
He's a mole.
He is.
How'd he get asked to come in?
I don't know. In his quest to recruit some of the wealthiest and most influential men in Europe. Members of the Bavarian Illuminati, referred to as perfectibilists,
Okay.
were broken into 3 tiers of increasing power and drawn from societal elites, including noblemen like former Freemason Baron von Neig and writer Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. All communication was in cipher, and members were given classical nicknames. Weishaupt, for example, was Spartacus.
Oh my God. So dumb.
So the organization flourished before being stamped out by Karl Theodor of Bavaria.
Allegedly stamped out.
Who issued an edict making membership in the Illuminati punishable by death
Oh, Lord.
in 1787. But the death of the Bavarian Illuminati did not quell gossip about their clandestine activities. And conspiracy theorists have linked groups to everything from the French Revolution to the assassination of JFK.
Oh.
The Illuminati served as inspiration for Dan Brown's
Wait, so they
Angels
think
and
the
Demons.
Illuminati killed JFK? Huh.
Allegedly.
Somebody thinks that? Well, there's a
Now,
lot
should we
of...
talk about Skull and Bones?
Is
This
this
is
from
also a movie with Joshua Jackson.
The
right?
Skulls?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's
it was
a
about
great
the Skull
movie.
and Bones, wasn't it?
Isn't Usher in that? Oh, no, I'm thinking of The Faculty.
I mean,
Is Joshua Jackson in that, too? Josh Hartnett?
Maybe, I don't
anyway,
know.
it doesn't matter. That's a great movie, though, The
Yes.
Skulls. Because they're at a college, right? And there's that blonde
Yes.
chick, and okay, it's
Yeah.
all coming back to me.
and all that.
Should go home and watch that.
Yes.
Joshua Jackson is a beautiful specimen of a man.
He is. We love you. Team Pacey.
All the way. Dawson is like, no.
Love James Vanderbeek, though. Love that he's just like relocated his whole family and just living a
is
normal
cute.
life. The Order of Skull and Bones is a secret society founded at Yale. Lottie freaking dog. In 1832, Skull and Bones founder William Huntington Russell was inspired by an occult society he'd visited in Germany. His co-founder was Alphonso Taft, future Secretary of War under President Grant, and father of President William Howard Taft. Who
Wait, that's his
so
father?
many ties. Well, Alfonso was the father of Taft,
Of Taft. Oh, okay.
who would also be a member of Skull and Bones. Okay, the prominent list of bonesmen. That's what
Oh
they're
my
called.
God.
What an
You
unfortunate.
couldn't come up with something better than
At least they weren't like the boners. That'd be more fun. It includes several presidents and modern day power brokers. So each year, 15 seniors at Yale are tapped. Like, you can't be any more freaking exclusive
Elitist.
and elitist.
Yes. But they're like, that's funny. So they're just like,
Yeah,
oh, I remember.
I'm tapping
You can
to
literally
join.
remember. I can remember that from
Yes.
the movie. Anyway, go on.
Their names are published in Yale Rumpus.
What?
I don't know.
Their names are published, so it's public knowledge?
Why
Or is
don't,
it
or is
secret?
that's probably a secret thing. Though what happens behind the closed doors of the tomb, the windowless meeting space where
Ugh.
bonesmen gather twice a week, is under wraps.
Twice a week? What a commitment.
For real. Members take an oath of secrecy. Graduate members are referred to as patriarchs. And those undergoing initiation are called knights. Outsiders of the group are barbarians.
Oh, Lord.
Famous Skull and Bone members include Presidents William Howard Taft,
It's not very secret since we all know.
George H.W., and George W.
Oh, they went to... George W. Bush went to Yale?
Probably. It didn't take smarts.
graduated
to get it. It took money.
from
Let's be
Yale?
honest.
Oh, yeah, true.
Did we learn nothing from Operation Varsity Blues?
Oh, yeah.
Founder of Time magazine, Henry Luce. Former Secretary of State and presidential hopeful John Kerry. Fortune 500 elites and members of the CIA.
Oh, wow.
The controversial 1986 expose, America's Secret Establishment by Anthony Sutton, claimed that Skull and Bones was out to create a new world order run by bonesmen, prompting myriad conspiracy theories. The symbol of Skull and Bones is appropriately a skull with 2 crossbones. What's less clear is the meaning of the number 322 beneath them.
Oh.
Yale Alumni Magazine points to a popular theory that it represents the year 322 BC when Alexander the Great died.
What a weird...
Yeah.
It's very weird.
Now we're going to move on to Build-A-Bug.
Build-A-Bear.
Yeah, or Build-A-Bear. That's for sure a cult. The first Bilderberg meeting was in 1954. Oh, so this isn't that old. And held at the Hotel de Bilderberg. So
Wherever that is.
in the Netherlands.
Oh.
From which the organization gets its name. Convened by Prince Bernhard of the Netherlands, it was a gathering of powerful politicians from North America and Europe designed to foster warmer relations between the 2 continents.
Isn't that like what NATO's for or something?
While not strictly a secret society like the Illuminati or Freemasons, Bilderberg's high-profile attendees, previous guests, have included Bill Clinton, Margaret Thatcher, Angela Merkel, Tony
Women!
Blair, and Henry Kissinger.
Women.
And its use of the Chatham House rule, blocking attendees from sharing what actually happens in meetings, gives the group the air of mystery.
Wow.
Journalists are barred from reporting on it. Meeting minutes are not released. Bilderberg attendees are selected by a dedicated international committee.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
It's so mundane, you know.
Last month's minutes.
Right. Can someone approve this?
Yes. Can I get a second?
Right.
Fine. Can we just move on? Every year, about 120 to 140 people are invited, and about 2/3 are coming from Europe and 1/3 from North America. The Washington Post reports that while backgrounds in government and politics are the most common, attendees from fields like academia, finance, and media have also been included. The level of secrecy surrounding the Bilderberg meeting have given rise to many rumors, including unproven theories that Bilderberg attendees are behind the creation of the European Union, the invasion of Iraq, and the bombing of Serbia. Okay, so these are just there's lots of conspiracy things surrounding it. Publicly known topics of conversation were of this year's, whenever this was written, are Brexit and cybersecurity and climate change. So,
Pretty important things.
So anyways, that was my coverage of secret societies.
Wow. I liked that, Amy.
Thanks.
That was good.
I rambled on for days.
No, it was good. A lot of good information here. Okay, let me get myself situated here. Figure out what I'm doing.
My mom had invited us to go swimming, and now she's like, "Don't worry about coming today. I have 5.5 gallons of green beans to snap."
Oh my gosh.
Don't worry, Mom. I wasn't planning on coming anyways.
That does not sound fun. I'll just continue buying mine from the grocery store. Although those are good.
Well, I know, but they're like doomsday prepping of their household.
Oh. Wow.
I laugh now, but whatever. We know whose house I'll be going to.
There. Yeah, we have a tote downstairs full of like astronaut food or something. It's so nasty. Anyway, all right, this morning, where am I?
I don't know.
I'm going to be talking about the Smurl family haunting. I don't think we've done this one. I didn't look though.
If we have, whatever. Doesn't ring any bells. We would remember a name like Smurl.
I feel like we would. And this has ties to Lorraine and Ed, so that's why I was like, are you sure we haven't done this? But there's a new documentary on Discovery Plus. It's not bad. I mean, for us who know everything about them, it was kind of like,
experts.
Okay, I already know this.
We were just offended we weren't asked to participate in the documentary.
Oh, Jason was from Ghost Hunters. He's on it, which is interesting. And their daughter, which is kind of cool. But anyway. So moving on. The Smurl family haunting. This is from thelineup.com by Deanna Janes. Thanks, Deanna, for your talents. From 1974 to 1987, the Smurls claim they were at the mercy of ghosts. Their story involves journalists, demonologists, and the Roman Catholic Church. It caught the attention of the media, which resulted in several published articles, a book, a TV movie, and even attracted infamous paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren. This is the Smurl story. This is very, very dramatic. After flood damage forced them from their Wilkes Barre home, Janet and Jack Smurl, along with their young daughters and Jack's parents, moved into a Chase Street duplex in West Pittston, Pennsylvania. A bit of a fixer-upper, they put their efforts into repainting, retooling, and repairs. It was at this time that the eerie activity began. Here's Jack Smurl.
He's like, there's so much repair to do.
I don't know what he's pointing at.
This wall is crumbling.
He's pointing at a wall. He looks distressed.
We were flooded out of our last home. Now I'm in this cracked foundation
I know, he
house.
just bought a terrible other house.
Clearly, he did not have a home inspection.
He did not learn his lesson. Initially, the episodes were benign. Tools went missing, then reappeared. Old wall stains seeped through fresh coats of paint. Maybe that's what he's showing us here. Okay. Then the kitchen appliances caught fire even though they were unplugged. And awful odors overwhelmed the house only to disperse moments later. Well, that's good at least.
Well, maybe that was just Mr. Smurl.
He's just farting.
He had so many beans. All the green beans. 5.5 gallons of green beans.
Oh, my God. Still, the Smurl family soldiered on. Jack was promoted at his job, way to go, Jack, and doubled as his daughter's softball team coach. Mm-hmm. Janet became pregnant and helped organize an anti-drunk driving group at the local high school. It's random, but nice. Thank you, Janet.
Also known as MAD.
Right.
Or SAD. Was it for mothers or students,
right.
Janet?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it was MAD and SAD. Most mothers are.
That's so sad. Oh my gosh. The girls excelled in their studies and the in-laws were happy, but like all good ghost stories, their luck was about to change. Here they are.
Oh,
they're just a cute little family,
yeah.
You know? They got the grandparents there.
With the loaf of bread hairstyle.
Yeah. It's just real 60s. Soon the Smurls were struggling to make ends meet. Mary, Jack's mother, suffered a heart attack. The ghostly visits, meanwhile, intensified. Mary and Janet claimed to have perceived voices that sounded like one another. Ew.
So, like,
Janet heard Mary and Mary heard Janet.
Okay,
yeah.
That's creepy.
Janet thought she heard her mother-in-law calling her name, while Mary thought she heard Janet and Jack in the throes of an argument laden with expletives. I can't say that word. Ominous black masses formed and floated through the home. Ugh. Janet said she was visited in the dead of night by a malevolent force that molested her in her sleep. Trigger warning. Oh my God. Then Jack joined the club. Okay, this is written hilariously. Lying in bed with Janet, he heard someone whispering. A young woman, it seemed.
Oh, Bathsheba?
Or like that old lady from The Shining. she's old, not young.
The one in the bathtub?
That's like, oh, and it's so sad, that actress, you know, and we're all like, ew, your body.
The ghosts of The Shining are so random. I still don't understand
the bartender,
the furries that are in that.
I can't think of that.
Isn't that what that's called now? People who dress up as animals, furries. I think that's like
yes,
a trend
yeah.
now.
And
you
it's
don't
like
remember that?
No, I'm probably blanking on that. I'll have to look it up when I get home. Yeah, that's totally random. And the bartender, I'm like, what does the bartender represent? Mandy, do you know? I don't know. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
I just feel
bad.
bad.
They're just very random assortment of ghosts.
And I just feel bad that we're like horrified of that poor woman's body. And she's like, I'm a person in real life, you know?
That's one thing I have going for me.
We could be
Mine
her.
will always be, no matter where everything else is sagging, these bad boys are just going to sit.
I could have played that part. I would have been like, read the cast thing and been like, that's me. I'll show up. Maybe that was
How
prosthetics.
much am I being paid for this?
You know, maybe that wasn't her real body, you know?
Yeah, maybe she was CGI'd. Not in the 80s, but...
Maybe they just, like, pasted things to her. I don't know.
Some tube socks filled with marbles.
I just feel bad for her. Now that I think about it, because we're all horrified. And
If I'm really gonna die and come back, can I? Why? Who says I have to come back?
doesn't
to that
she comes
age?
back hot at first, right?
Well, yeah, then doesn't she just start like
because she at first she's like
decomposing? So is she not old? Is she just
Decomposing?
decompose?
Is that the right word?
Yeah,
Decompose? Oh yeah. I mean, that sounded so wrong.
Like in different stages of decomposition.
I know when you said decompose, I was like, imagine composing and the orchestra, and I was like,
you
is
said
that the right
composting
word? Or composting? Oh my gosh! Well, Jack was a creep in that movie, anyway. You know. Anyhow, later that okay. So he heard a young woman whispering. When he turned to face his wife, he watched the shadowy figure run up her leg.
Oh.
Like a
well,
hand?
help her, Jack.
Yeah, or like... Okay, I'm confused. That's really weird. After that night, life in the Smurl house grew darker. So here's a picture they took of some paranormal activity in their house, like a bunch of furniture stacked on top of one another.
That would be real annoying.
Yeah, they could have done that, though. So, you know.
Well, I don't know. That's like a furniture Jenga going on.
It really is. It would have taken some time if they were going to do that themselves. That photo credits from the International Paranormal Researchers Community. Hello?
Where's our invitation?
Yeah.
That's our secret society.
Right.
Name.
A light fixture fell from the ceiling, cutting one of the daughters on impact. The family dog was thrown against the wall. Ooh. Janet said she was picked up by an invisible presence dangling some 6 feet in the air and then tossed across the room. Oh my God. Trigger warning again on sexual assault. Jack claimed a succubus entered the living room and raped him while he watched a baseball game. I don't know what to say.
I don't either.
I feel
Just move
uncomfortable.
on.
Even neighbors reported hearing screams from the house while the family was out. Men can be raped. That's all I'm going to say. Even neighbors reported hearing screams when the family was out. That's creepy. Terrified, the Smurls contacted self-taught demonologist duo, the Warrens. Well, why you got to say self-taught?
Yeah.
Hello, the Catholic Church, said that Ed was legit.
Yeah.
So, anyhow.
And it's not like where else are you going to learn that?
Right. There's no course.
They were self-taught through experience.
Right. You can't go to Yale and join the Skull and Bones and study demonologist. All right, so they contact the Warrens. After inspecting the house, Lorraine Warren, a clairvoyant with several well-known paranormal investigations under her belt, concluded that the Smurls shared their home with 4 spirits. 1, a harmless elderly woman from The Shining. A young and possibly violent girl. A man who suffered and died in the home. And a demon that used the other 3 spirits to destroy the Smurl family. Here's Lorraine at their house with them.
Oh, Lorraine.
So cute. She recently died in the last few years. That's sad. Group prayer sessions and exorcisms were conducted, yet the attacks continued. So the Smurls took their story public in hopes that someone might hear of their plight and know how to help. But the family got more than they bargained for. The press latched on and like a malicious spirit refused to leave. So they were just camped out outside their house for months. Oddballs camped out in the front of their house. That'd be me and Amy.
Yeah, we're not with the press. We just want to.
We're just here for
what's happening.
Cameras flashed and reporters flooded their lawn. Cars of onlookers cruised by, hoping to catch a glimpse of something from another dimension. The Smurl family found themselves at the center of a media circus. Representatives from the Roman Catholic Church in Scranton, that's funny, were uncertain as to what might be causing the activity. Multiple priests visited the Smurls to bless their home. They reportedly encountered no paranormal activity while on the property. Okay. In 1986, an area priest actually moved into the household, hoping to witness the demonic forces firsthand. But nothing stirred. After 2 nights without issue, he left. That same year, the Smurls expressed exhaustion over the incessant media scrutiny. In 1987, the family packed up and left their duplex. It was a duplex? You're on the other side of the wall. Well, then that's probably who heard the yelling, you know? They're close.
But dang it. Why is this side haunted
I know.
and not that side?
It's really not fair, is it? Supernatural phenomena reportedly followed them to their new home. Literally a nightmare. until a church-sanctioned exorcism in 1989 cleared the house of its activity. Since then, experts, priests, television producers, and journalists have all scrutinized the Smurl story, including journalist Robert Curran and the Warrens themselves, who chronicled the Smurl's case in their book, The Haunted: One Family's Nightmare. Many reviewers regarded the book as one-sided. Well, yeah, it's from their perspective. Echoing skeptics who saw rational explanations behind the otherworldly claims of the Smurl family. The subsequent owners of the duplex say nothing unusual has ever happened in their home. So it just makes you wonder, like, well, maybe something only happened to them.
Maybe it wasn't the house.
Right.
Maybe it was
because it followed them. I mean.
So maybe it was never about the house.
Right. Just going to see if anything else in this other... So some people think that this foul stench was emanating from a cracked sewer pipe near the home. Can we fix that? Yeah. That is nasty. I don't know if there's anything else over here on this one. There's actually a movie that was made in 1991 called The Haunted about this case, starring people I've never heard of. And that's really all. It's very interesting. Right. So that is all. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast. It's my radio voice.
Please follow us on all of our social medias. We are on the Haunt Podcast on Instagram and Facebook. On Haunt Podcast on Twitter.
Yep.
And
check out our website. We've got cool stuff on there.
Yeah, we have.
On the Haunt website. On thehauntpodcast.com.
Yes.
And we've got stickers and all kinds of cool merch on there, and I'm getting ready to put out some more new stickers. So yeah, send us an email if you have a paranormal experience.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody who's been purchasing stuff. We appreciate you.
Yay! And that's all.
Bye.
Goodbye.